Hmm. Hi there. I'm Flame Flash. Welcome to episode 118 of the FFdotnet podcast. We'll get started, as always, with the Raptor report. Flame Flash is my username over there. Raptor.com, RAPTR.com. Grab that Raptor client, install it on your PC, and let the rankings come in. For those games like Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, that don't automatically get tracked since it's not a PC game, you can manually track your time. 45 minutes to fully explore a World 2 level. I'm now understanding why I don't get the opportunity to play Luigi's Mansion as much as I'd like. When you compare Luigi's Mansion to, for instance, Super Mario Land 3 or Super Mario 3D Land, great gameplay, absolutely great gameplay. I was going to go grab my case, but oh well. Absolutely great gameplay, but if you can't get all the way through the level, it's my same problem with Skylanders. I'm a dad. I get interrupted. Sure, I can close the 3DS and suspend it and move on, but then I don't know possibly where I was when I last got it, or I get street passes and I want to go process those, so then I would have to either beat the level first and then go do my street passes. Those street pass games are fabulous. Fabulous! So much so that my 3DS sees use every day just on the 4 new Street Pass games. That's it. We'll discuss them more when we get out of the Raptor report, since for some reason Raptor doesn't support them yet. And my... well, that works. My mouse, my trackball, isn't cooperating for some reason. It's been a little while where it's an really old Logitech trackball. Wireless, amazingly. And it gets a little laggy, like, oh, I think you've clicked, and I haven't. Or I haven't held it, and it thinks I have. Anyway, Sims 3 shows up on the Raptor report. I can't recall at this point. It's all a blur this last week. I can't recall at this point if I did successfully play this or not. I know we've got an Island Paradise. I know I desperately want to play see the aspects of Island Paradise that are available, but my favorite is still the University. I could get University and just have stopped. There's so much richness there. Depth. Especially since I usually play large households of everybody being around the same age. Or at least most of my families are. Most of them are female, too. Of course, Red Flare designs the characters. So don't think I'm some large-chested pervert. This isn't coming out right. But they're extremely diverse characters, and it's a wonderful challenge to make them all survive in the same household. Say the vampire who can't walk outside, going to university, egads. Dungeons & Dragons, Chronicles of Mysteria for the PSN. Now, I tried playing the demo this last weekend. Loved it enough to buy it. I had taken advantage of a Best Buy deal a while back that gives you basically $5 3-month subscription to PlayStation Plus. So we tacked on for $5 more to our PlayStation Plus account, which, again, people, you're foolish not to have PlayStation Plus. it pays for itself. Anyway, so we played through what little we could of the demo. I look forward to this weekend hopefully taking the boys, maybe the daughter, into the game's fullness, richness. The second one, naturally, is more fleshed out than the first. First one has only your 4 characters. We're talking really ancient D&D rules, by the way. This is Dungeons and Dragons, not advanced Dungeons and Dragons. So it's the elf throwing magic and arrows, or shooting arrows. It's the cleric turning the undead. The dwarf is the fighter. There's some kind of knight dude. It's awesome. What's interesting is where they all gravitate. Older son gravitates towards the magic wielder and the dwarf fighter. The younger son goes straight to the knight. The dude with the big sword. Yes. And of course I go cleric. Healer. Where he would be a healer if I could figure out how to do that. Maybe as he levels up, he'll become a healer. Right now, I'm just turning undead left and right. But that was just the demo. Wii Fit Plus shows up. I am still absolutely dying to see the Wii U version of this. My one complaint still remains that the balance board is reporting that it is low battery, even though it's not. I take those batteries out, I test them, and they are medium to high charge. How finicky our devices are as far as battery usage go drives me nuts. The Xbox, for instance, goes, "Oh no! At least one of my batteries is on medium charge. I must report I'm almost out of juice." No. Bad Xbox. Bad. No cookie. Go to your room. Ugh. That's one reason I love the PS3s. You just, plug it in, charge it, and go. So, Superhero Squad and Star Wars Old Republic show up. Did not play them. Younglings played them without quitting Raptor. Bad younglings. Awesome Nuts. Still awesome. Still enjoyable. It's especially enjoyable on the PC because I only have the capability of playing with 2 people. So I plug in my Xbox USB controller. Son takes the keyboard, I take the controller, and we charge forth. Highly satisfying. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. What? It's a new game? He's playing a different game on the Raptor Report? What the crap, man? I was planning on, trying to progress through the arcade mode or something, just to see if I still have it, and ended up fighting the youngest son because he realized that Pac-Man is in this game. Pac-Man piloting some giant mech with cannonballs as fists. So I did get to try out and practice, different characters this way, while he used Pac-Man heavily. The Marvel vs. Capcom 2 feel? Neat. I'm glad they refined the bouncing in and out, but you only have 2 characters on your team, and the moment one of them runs out of energy, you're done. Maybe there are other modes, but we only played the one mode of Versus. It's neat. I really enjoyed it. This is what I get for trying to record at 1:15 a.m. Just so, I don't get too far behind. MotorStorm RC for Vita. Love it. impressed by it. I hadn't fired it up yet, but it's really cool. I look forward to playing it more. The Vita, again, it would be getting more use if more of the games I had on it were faster shots. Well, MotorStorm RC is a faster shot. You jump in, you do a race, you jump out. Awesome. Magic the Gathering, Duels of the Planeswalkers. Here we have both a mix of real life Magic the Gathering and not so much. The interesting thing is, more of my friends are picking this game up than last time. That was my huge mistake, not going Steam in 2013. But this 2014 iteration, I'm playing online with friends. With real people that I know. Mind blown. That's awesome. In fact, one of my friends is beating me on time for this week in that game. It's a great game. It's a great game. He recently had a son, so it's one of those great games, as I mentioned back on 2012 Magic the Gathering, to hold a child with. Hold a small baby and sway and rock with them, especially with a controller version. But just hold and cuddle. You only need one hand for this game. And then it wields the mouse of power. Well, mine's a mouse of power. Yours, mileage may vary, depending. Next up, Jetpack Joyride ×2. There we go. Vita and PlayStation Network. I first tried it out on the Vita. I downloaded it a long time ago, just like MotorStorm. Finally got around to playing it. Awesome. 9 achievements right off the bat, 9 trophies, and 2 hours. Liked it. Realized it was child appropriate. Shoved it on the PS3. The kids love it. You can quickly and easily take turns, because it's just a runner. You're dodging the obstacles and trying to go as far into the level as you can. The vehicles are a blast, sometimes literally. And even the 5-year-old gets the concept, cheers the siblings on, plays himself, and crashes into the electrical barrier. But not always. He's understanding it. He's picking it up. And he runs in place as he plays. I guess that's a good thing. He's super active when playing video games. Standing up far too close to the TV, but usually running in place, jumping in place. We might as well have a Kinect if they were decent and, cost effective, just so it could track his movements and control the games. But it's awesome watching him play and reminding him to get away from television. Last but not least, on the Raptor Report. This is a longer Raptor Report. Who knew? World of Warcraft. Yay! World of Warcraft is on top of the Raptor Report again. Maybe because I didn't play Civ 5 this week. But it was an alright week for gaming. Lots of gaming done. Not all that I would have liked. For instance, very small amount of time in WoW. But then, very small amount of time in any of the games that I did play. So we're not talking marathon play on any of them at this point. So close still to getting my Warlock to 90. Maybe I'll get get him there this weekend. We'll see. We have packing to do. You heard me. Packing. Supposedly, I played 95% more than other Raptor gamers this week. Cool. You got 69 achievements? Not bad. Not bad at all. So, transitioning from the Raptor Report, game reviews, to World of Warcraft news. The Burdens of Shao Hao, parts 2, 3, and 4. 5 we'll cover next week because, well, it didn't post. Which reminds me, I should probably make note of the fact that I want to cover it next week. But there we go. This is a stylistic, following Lord Master Cho's take on the legend of Shao Hao and how he expunges the various shas of fear, despair, anger, violence, etc. It's an awesome epic. I invite you to go to monkofmists.com or YouTube or worldofwarcraft.com and check it out. And that's monkofmists.wordpress.com. I apologize. Should probably pursue a .com for that one, but I just haven't yet. We also have the BattleNet launcher. It launched. I hope to go into more depth on it individually on Monk of Mists, so stay tuned for that. The convenience factor, just like for Steam, of having all your Blizzard games in one neat little package is fantastic. In fact, I need to add the Battle.net launcher to Steam so I can just hop from Steam, which I use as a launcher for most of my things on the Windows side, and go. Perfect. The 5.4 cinematic trailer also came out. Holy crap. Just that. Holy crap. Check the show notes. I have a link. Post it out to Monk of Mists. Enjoy. Xbox. After this guy was talking so highly about PlayStation Plus, now I'm going over to Xbox. Xbox is finally, joining the current decade. They're dropping Microsoft points in favor of local currency. Huzzah! Finally. I mean, you can go onto the PlayStation Network or the Nintendo eShop and go, that game is $5. Do I think it's worth $5? Yes, I do. So I'm going to grab it. And I'm going to charge $5 to my debit card. Haha. Or I'm going to go out and buy a $20 gift certificate for myself to put on the system of my choice and plan for the future. Plan for a release in the future. Cool. It's about time, Microsoft. About time. Now, Xbox family accounts are set to retire. Now, this doesn't impact me at all. Not on a family account. Have used it in the past. Not impressed. Not enough control for my own account. Well, what this really does the most, unless they're announcing something else up their sleeves, if you own multiple Xboxes and you want gold on them all, you're going to have to start paying for gold on them all. That stinks. There should be at least a one IP address Xbox Live option. Oh crap, my mouse isn't cooperating again. I was going to, continue looking at my notes. Reset button. Let go of the scroll wheel. Okay. Now, Xbox seems to absolutely love doing 180s. Now the Kinect is no longer required to be always plugged in. Golf clap. Golf clap. It's a no-brainer. I mean, it's still not selling me. Ooh, excuse me. On the X1, but at least they're taking another step in the right direction. And then there's, the reason why we don't want the Kinect always plugged in. Online harassment. At least that's one of my reasons why. That camera? I remember sitting down when we first got the Xbox, starting up Uno, going online, and these kids make me feel uncomfortable for having, the capability of growing facial hair. It's like, dude, really? Harassment. I can't imagine what it would be like for a woman with, the Kinect camera pointed right at her, headset on, and she's trying to enjoy her online game session. I don't want to go into the details too deeply. They're in the show notes on how ridiculous the harassment is and how little Microsoft does for the gamers, unless it, blows up and becomes news. Disgraceful. Now, granted, I have no idea if Sony does something similar. Say, every once in a while, because I have a 5-year-old and he likes Awesome Nuts, so he goes and plays online. I'll get a nastygram from some random player that my profile ran into in Awesome Nuts, and will curse at me. Seriously? Now, either I was having some control issues or bandwidth issues, maybe connectivity, because I'm just that turret tank standing there otherwise not doing much. Or you're playing against a child that doesn't really understand the game. And that's just the risk you take when you queue up for another. So, Skylanders. Yes, we will attempt to break a harassment rant with Skylanders. And, the X1 self-regulates heat. So you'll hear the fan kick on like a computer. I hear the PS3 does that. Oh, that's right. The Xbox had that whole red ring of death thing. Yeah, the yellow light of death is horrible too. I get that. But you don't see enough of them that there's clearly a flaw in the system. Just stop putting something higher than 54 RPM hard drives in there. Now, I spoke earlier regarding the new Street Pass games. 200,000 of them have sold. Wish I could say the same for the Wii U. But bum. They're great, though. If you have a 3DS, if you regularly street pass people, it's worth the get. Do get the whole package of 4, though. Don't lose money by perhaps avoiding one of the Street Pass games that doesn't look interesting to you. They're all great. Absolutely great. I have a little beef with MiiForce at the moment because MiiForce is the, say, side-scrolling shooter, space shooter. Well, a couple of the gems, level collectibles, are hidden so that you can't get at them without a specific weapon, like light green. Or really, really awesome timing, which seems really, really silly. If I can kill these enemies at exactly the same time, I get a level collectible. So I might as well just, if I fail that, keep charging? Don't know. But back to Skylanders. Dark Collector's Edition. Cool. They have announced a Collector's Edition Skylanders. The starting 3 Skylanders will all be some dark, alternate color scheme of their normal versions. Okay, that works. It's also coming with 2 extra Skylanders. Something I now can't remember, and then what I believe is a Dark Spyro. Cool. Plants vs. Zombies 2 launched, free to play, at least on iOS. I haven't looked anywhere else to see where else it might have landed. So, this guy sues Subway over the fact that the sandwiches aren't exactly a foot long. He also turns around and sues GameStop over downloadable content. You know, the fact that you don't get a warning when random piece of Pop-Tart on the floor, just threw it away. Yay, toddlers. Messy toddlers. But there wasn't a warning of, hey, I'm buying this game used. I'm going to have to go buy the DLC code separately instead of using the one that, came in the box. It has a little bit of a point, but should be a better system in place for getting DLC on a used game. And for losing DLC. I mean, if you're trading in the game, why do you still want that DLC associated with one of your accounts? Doesn't make sense to me. Here are a couple of grim headlines. Constitution Free Zone, all around the borders, everywhere. 100 miles in, all your base are belong to us. The NSA. Or Homeland Security. And then, of course, if you're a Gmail user, or sending email to a Gmail user, don't expect privacy. Google just comes right out and says, don't expect it. You are, by the moment you send something to a Gmail user, agreeing to be spied on. It's far too late to read the legal brief. So I will leave you with this. Vin Diesel may be Groot. That's it. Because, that's all Groot ever says. I am Groot. He is Groot. Ultimate Spider-Man. Go watch that one. Season 2. Not exactly sure of the timing of the episode, but it's a very good one. But I am the Flame Flash. At Flame Flash on Twitter. Podcast at FFdotnet. I'm about to fall asleep. And so, I close out episode 118. Have a good weekend, all.